The flavors are calling, the laughter is waiting, and the table is set for another unforgettable season.
Why do something different? Why not do
You
it
know
the
why?
way?
Anytime I eat cheesecake, I'm never totally pleased because I like cheesecake to be super creamy, and I want it to be like easier on your palate and not so dense. So that's why I invented this whip technique.
This journey is still about culture, good vibes, and unforgettable moments.
23 languages and dialects in the whole
Wow,
Caribbean.
wow.
Let's speak about diversity. I love it.
Yeah. Our roots run deep. Our flavors speak loud. Our people welcome you with open arms. When we gather, we don't just eat, we celebrate life, honor tradition.
We always grew up appreciating good rum, all the misses, and good chocolate.
And build new memories to pass down through generations. Food is still our love language. It's comfort, it's history, it's home. Across the Caribbean, our tables are filled with bold flavors, rich colors, and endless heart, because there's still nothing quite like us.
To me, dessert always have to be 50% delicious, 40% creativity, 10% technique. That's my rule always.
Once again, you're invited. Welcome back to the Caribbean Cookout Show. This season, we're diving into the sweeter side of the Caribbean. Get ready to meet the pastry chefs and dessert artists who reimagine tradition with every bite. First up, award-winning chef Angel Betancourt, who's taking classic Caribbean flavors and giving them a bold new twist. From rich traditions to fresh creations, it's all on the menu. As our chefs craft their sweet creations, they'll take us on a journey through their Caribbean roots.
I think we as a Venezuelan, we feel Caribbean.
Yeah.
And now the sun, the Caribbean sea and everything, the way we dance, we always say we're Caribbean. So I don't know why we always overlook, probably because we are a little far away, but we're still Caribbean.
Sharing the rich stories, traditions, and flavors that inspire every bite. Discover how generations-old recipes are transformed into unforgettable desserts using local ingredients, time-honored techniques, and just the right twist to make them their own. To make things even more exciting, we'll pair each dish with a perfect adult beverage, elevating today's episode to a whole new level of flavor. And to dive even further into the artistry behind the dishes, culinary Caribbean expert and former cookout chef Simeon Hall will join Angel in the kitchen, offering an intimate look at the techniques and inspirations that bring these creations to life. At the end of it all, we'll gather to savor every sweet bite and share stories you won't want to miss. Pull up a seat at our table and experience the magic, the flavors, and the heart of Caribbean desserts, only on Caribbean Cookout. Now, let's meet our first chef. Chef Angel Betancourt hails from Venezuela. It's a country with deep Caribbean roots, often overlooked. Growing up, the sweet scent of chocolate filled the air of his hometown, sparking his love for pastry and shaping his culinary journey. From Venezuela's streets to the world's kitchen, Angel brings the authentic flavors of the Caribbean to every dessert. Chef Angel, I know that we chatted a little bit off camera and you told me about your background. You grew up in Barquisimeto, Venezuela, near a chocolate factory. How did that shape your culinary experience?
Well, I'm from Caracas, but yes, I did grow up in Barquisimeto, which is in the central part of the country. And can you imagine, from that I can remember when I was young, always the smell and always going to, the little excursions that you go with the school, you go to the chocolate factory. So it's been from my early beginnings that I know about chocolate, that I know to appreciate how it's made, and I know the type of cocoa beans or cocoa trees, so yeah.
And I know there's a big connection with chocolate and Venezuela. Does that impact you as well?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we always grew up appreciating good rum, all the misses, and good chocolate. Those are like our three best, export items. So, of course, I mean, we're really proud of our chocolate. I do believe we have the best cocoa bean.
Because I know both of your parents are doctors.
Both of them.
So how did that impact you, and how were they when they learned that you were interested in going into the world of pastry?
It's funny because it's me that I have this image or this something in my head that I say, no, they won't like it or something like that. They probably want me to be a doctor as well, but no. It was more in my head that I have this to unlock that. But they since they knew that I choose to be a chef, they fully support, and all the way to now. They love what I do. They see me that I do it with passion, that I do what I love. So that's what they care, that's what I care.
And how are you able to integrate your heritage into what you do every day?
I mean, heritage is everything. Like I say, food has memory. So everything from a banana, from rum, from everything. I mean, I always say that it explains it better, like Ratatouille movie, that when you taste something that gives you back to your childhood. So this is what I try to do when I create my desserts or any of my food.
What was it that led you to being a pastry chef?
You know, it's funny, when I went to school, I always had the idea that I wanted to be a chef. So in fact, when I went to Cordon Bleu in Canada, I studied the full degree of chef, like, you know, savory. But at the end, I always say, I don't want to be like a lot of chefs now that they only know how to do flan, I mean the kitchen chef, and they don't fully know what to do pastry or how to do any dessert. So I told my mom, let's enroll in one basic, so at least I have the basics. After my first class of pastry, I called my mom, I said, Mom, I'm sorry, I think we lost the money, because this is what I love, this is what I feel that I'm creative, this is what I feel like I fly. So since then, I fully always work or do is anything pastry and sweet as well.
Hey, hi guys, welcome to Caribbean Cookout Shop. I'm super excited to be representing Venezuela, my country, and to be able to show you how to do two of my masterpieces. One is gonna be a whipped cheesecake that it has mango and passion fruit, and it has a paleta in form of Catherine on top. And the other one is a representation of the biggest controversial painting that was sold, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago at the Art Basel, the comedian, so it's gonna be a banana cake. We're gonna do a fluid gel, which is almost like a coulis, but is stabilized with agar, which is an algae. So anytime you use agar, try to eliminate the lumps by using sugar. So mix agar and sugar. So what we're gonna do here, we need to bring this mixture to boil because that's the way agar gets activated. So sugar and agar, we're gonna put it on the pan with the mango and passion fruit pulp that we have. It needs to bring to boil, so we whisk until it is rapid boiling. Okay, and you pour it on your silicone mat and let it set. So this goes directly on the fridge for 5 to 10 minutes. Second recipe, so we have mango puree or mango pulp, already rehydrated gelatin silver sheets. We have sugar and we have water. The pan, it goes all the puree along with the water and sugar. So what we're doing here is we want to dissolve the sugar crystals and then we want to dissolve our gelatin. So we get it just before boiling point and then we just pour it directly into our molds. I have a Katrina, which is a very significant, you have a good meaning, a beautiful meaning in Mexico. It's the image that romanticizes death in Mexico. They even have a day which is Dia de los Muertos, where they celebrate everybody that has gone. So the image that romanticizes and remembers all that is La Katrina. We're gonna dissolve our gelatin. Okay. Pour it. Hey chef, what's going on?
So what are you doing now, Angel?
So we're shaping our gelatin into our Katrina molds.
Like a Day of the Dead, Skull Dead kind of thing, you know?
Dia de los Muertos, there you go.
Nice.
Something that they celebrate beautifully in Mexico.
Well, you know, the Caribbean is made of so many different flavors and people, so there you go. So, Angel, tell us now, We all know cheesecake is one of our favorites, especially in the Caribbean, right? Well, why? Why reinvent it? Why do something different? Why not do
You know
it
why? Anytime I eat cheesecake, I'm never totally pleased because I like cheesecake to be super creamy, and I want it to be like easier on your palate and not so dense. So that's why I invented this whip technique. So this goes in the freezer. So this is the finished result. You can see the quantity of details.
Wow. Nice.
You see?
That's amazing.
All the details, the color.
All this to make cheesecake, Angel. I mean, you pastry chefs are something else.
So this is gonna be topping our dessert. So now that we have this ready, we're gonna keep it in the freezer and then move off and start doing the cheesecake, our cheesecake.
Ah, your cheesecake.
Yeah.
That's the stuff here, right?
Exactly. So very important when you do cheesecake, good quality cream cheese. That's right on the back. And then it have to be room temperature. So if I do like that, you see, it match up right up. So nice. We're gonna do the creaming method, which is sugar and cream cheese. Okay, so this is ready to go into the mixer. So it needs to be creamy, creamy, creamy enough before you go to the other step. The other step will be adding the eggs and some of the sour cream.
Well, us savory chefs who don't have the patience, who don't like to follow recipes, what would be one of the things that you say is a must? Is it bringing it to room temperature? All of that is a part of the getting it to do exactly how you want it to be, right?
I tell you something better. Hire a pastry chef. Stop being cheap, man. Hire a pastry chef. Okay, so it's ready. We're gonna start adding our eggs one by one. So last step for this, after the eggs are incorporated, we need to add the sour cream. Okay, so I think we're ready. This is the consistency that we're looking for. So we're ready to pour it in our container. So nice and creamy, no lumps. And then we're gonna pour it right in our container.
No grease, no nothing,
nothing.
Just straight in there.
Nothing, straight in there. So this is gonna go in the oven for approximately 40 minutes to an hour.
What temperature?
200 for an hour or 40 minutes. So of course, the magic of TV, we have one that we previously baked, and I'm gonna show you.
Ah, nice, there we go.
So you can see consistency, check color and all that.
Ah, nice. I can't wait. I can't
consistency,
wait.
the color, you don't want no color. And this is how it has to look.
Angel, this looks different from what I usually know cheesecake to look at. But I'm super excited because I know you're talented and you're going to do something really, really amazing with it. And I can't wait.
So it looks different now. Wait until the end. You're going to be surprised.
Thank you so much, Angel.
Now, I know that Venezuela is often overlooked when it comes to the Caribbean or thinking about the Caribbean. How are you able to use your talents to help educate others?
I think we as a Venezuelan, we feel Caribbean.
Yeah.
And now the sun, the Caribbean sea and everything, the way we dance, we always say we're Caribbean. So I don't know why we always overlook, probably because we're a little far away, but we're still Caribbean. But yeah, country influenced everything.
What exactly was it that led you to fall in love with the world of desserts?
I think I like the preciseness. I think it's unlike in the kitchen that you have to follow something, and if you don't follow like to the teeth, by the book, it won't work. So it's a lot of like chemistry, and then the freedom to create anything, like really anything.
I know a lot of us look up to different people. Did you have anyone that you looked up to during your journey?
My main one is Carles Mampel. I call him my Messi, a joke kind of thing. So I used to work for him in Bubo, Barcelona, Spain. He's one of the best pastry chefs in the world, best in Spain.
And how important is it for you to stick to your roots while you're exploring all of these different countries, exploring all these different ways of being in the world of pastry, in the world of desserts? Why is it important for you to stick to your Caribbean roots?
It's important because it's my identity. That's it. It's my identity. That's where I am. If you hear me in Spanish, I'm like if I don't know, came down from the airplane yesterday because my accent hasn't changed at all.
Now, Angel, I know that you worked under a chef who has Michelin star restaurants all over the country. How did that impact you and shape your pastry philosophy?
Well, like I say, I did work for Jean George for over 12 years, if I remember properly. And the most impactful thing is to see how many successful restaurants he has and how many Michelins. And he's still as humble as an apprentice. So that shaped my career and my whole style and everything. And I try to practice that now.
So I know that you have experience managing massive teams. How did that shape you and what you do today?
It teaches me a lot. You have no idea. It's difficult. It's a challenge. I love it because I like to be a little more based on a country now, more quiet. Love it because it's a big challenge and you get to impact a lot of people of your team, and to get to motivate each person that you touch it changed my life.
Now, Chef, I know you gave us a little tease talking about Art Basel. What can we expect tonight?
Okay, for tonight I have prepared two of my classic desserts. So one that I say that is a technique that I invented, that is a whipped cheesecake. So it's basically a regular cheesecake, but after I'm gonna whip it to add some air to make it more creamy and easier to the palate. And that one is gonna be finished with a passion fruit sauce, and it's gonna end up with a frozen paleta, which is made of mango. Then we're gonna go to a banana cake. I know it sounds super basic, and to me it's basic. But we're gonna recreate this controversial art piece that was sold at the Art Basel quite years ago, and it's called The Comedian. So I'm gonna make it a little more interactive.
And I know you mentioned passion fruit. We were just talking earlier, and you said
Parchita.
Yeah, you said maracuya, parchita. We say chinola.
In Venezuela, I think it's the only country that calls it parchita. I don't know why, but it's called parchita. You know chinola in Dominican, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, passion fruit or maracuya in Mexico.
I know that you like to inspire and lend your skills or teach up-and-coming chefs, right? Students as well. Can you share something that maybe recently sparked a new inspiration for you?
I always say I'm a pastry nerd. So if I go to Home Depot, I'm thinking what I can use to put chocolate. If I go to a new town or something, oh, look at the new ingredients, what I can do, put in dessert. If I see, I don't know, a new rum, a new tequila, I say, oh, what I can do with this. So anything that I have in my daily life always inspires me. There's something that kick off and I say, okay, I can do something with this.
How do you, I know it's your passion, but how do you keep that passion going?
Through challenges. I challenge myself to do something. Like last year, I opened my own pastry shop. That's something that I have in mind, and it was a challenge to do it. The year before that, I released my first book, and I finally released it 2 years ago. And there's always a new challenge.
And I know you mentioned how fruits unite the Caribbean. We all have our fruits that we love. Is there one particular fruit that you can point out that you think encapsulates the Caribbean?
I mean, I want to say mango. Mangoes, we all in the everywhere. But my personal that I love the most is passion fruit.
Me too, it's my favorite.
And it's exotic.
How do you incorporate these passion fruits into your dishes?
I mean, passion fruit or mangoes or all the Caribbean foods, to me, is the way easier or super easy to incorporate because they balance each other. For example, the one we're gonna do, the cheesecake, mango for the sweetness and for the citrus and acidity, passion fruit.
So Chef, I know your culinary journey took you to the Bahamas as well. What was that like?
Well, Bahamas to me is my second home. I always say that. Nassau, I mean, one of the best experiences I have. One of the countries I find fascinated. And I got in super deep into the culture, and and anytime that I can go back, I go back. But Bahamas is my second home, and always will be.
So do you find yourself merging what you learned in Venezuela with what you learned in the Bahamas and bringing that to your dishes?
In what I learned in Spain and what I learned everywhere in Canada, everywhere. Yeah, I'm a fusion chef, I call it. I'm a melting pot.
All right, Chef, I'm looking forward to tonight's dish.
Wonderful, can't wait.
When the cheesecake is ready and cold, we're gonna put it back into our KitchenAid bowl. So this needs to mix for around 2-3 minutes. At this stage, we're ready to add our sour cream. And we keep whipping. So what we're looking here is this texture that is super soft, super creamy. And this one we're gonna be able to put in a piping bag and pipe it like a ganache. Okay, now we gather all the ingredients to do the pâte sablé, which is the base of the cookie that we're gonna do. And we have butter, eggs, almond flour, icing sugar, salt, and all-purpose flour. You're gonna go on the bowl of the mixer. It's gonna be all the dry ingredients. So almond flour, icing sugar, salt, and our all-purpose flour. So we're doing a pâte sablé, which is a cookie. I kind of gonna represent the crust of the cheesecake. Sablé in French means like sandy, like they can break easily. The butter goes in, and we're ready to mix it. So this is exactly the texture that we're looking for. It resembles almost the sand on the beach, right? We're ready to add our egg. And we add our eggs. Okay, I'm gonna show you the consistency. At this stage, do not roll it more because you're gonna develop the gluten and we are not looking for that. So, okay, I'm gonna show you. Sometimes we even finish it by hand. And the best you can do is something that the French call fonçage. That is, with this part of your hand, you break it like that so you see no lumps. And if it breaks like that, you're in a good way, in a good path, right? So this, we're gonna roll it between two steel pads, cut it, and bake it. So of course we have one ready, and then we're ready to cut it. So, and this, before you bake it, it needs to go in the freezer, and you bake it when it's frozen. That's gonna eliminate the dough to be curved, to have bubbles and everything. So this freezer, then it goes at 350 for 10 to 15 minutes in the oven, and then we have the cookie ready. And this is how they have to look. And more importantly, I want to show you the thickness of it. It needs to be delicate. It needs to be thin. Okay, do you remember the fluid gel that we put in the freezer? So it should be ready set for us to mix it on the blender. There you go. We're gonna check. It's not juggling. And this is set. Okay, so now that we have it in our blender, we have to give it a quick spin. After we put it in the blender, we just put in a piping bag, and this is the consistency you're looking for. You see? This is our consistency. Okay, so we're ready to do the plate up. And in this case, we're gonna use this plate because I think it's super symbolic. The way it's showing the food and it's giving food, giving love, you know? A sauce that we didn't do, but it's way easier. That's why I didn't even show you. Is passion fruit and mango. Blended, no sugar, no nothing. So first, whipped cheesecake. We're gonna do a big enough dot in the bottom, on the bottom. Okay, this dot that we pipe is gonna hold our sablé. It's gonna hold it. And then on top of our sablé, we're gonna pipe some more cheesecake in a form of a cross. This is where our passion fruit and mango fluid gel is gonna shine. And then we're gonna finish with our Katrina that we're gonna get. Katrina goes on top. And then it's super symbolic to give flowers, those Dia de los Muertos. So we have to finish it with some edible flowers. So whenever we serve it, we reinforce all the flavors, all our Caribbean flavors with passion fruit and mango, and we pour it all over. Okay, so this is our whipped cheesecake with passion fruit and mango. I hope you like it.
When we come back, we're going to taste some sweets and share some stories you don't want to miss. But first, let's make the perfect cocktail pairing to complement the desserts you've seen come to life today. We're back with our good friend, the chef of spirits, the one and only Chef Louis Estrada. It's so good to have you back.
It's so good to be back. We're back.
All right, I can't wait to get into it. So what is the perfect pairing for our desserts tonight?
So Chef Angel is making a great comedic riff on a banana dessert. It was actually a banana piece that sold out here in Art Basel, and I thought it was hilarious. So it took me straight to Painkiller meets Dirty Banana frozen cocktail. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a frozen dirty banana, which I call the Curious George. So we have a fresh banana in there, and I'll go down the line and kind of let you know what's going in this cocktail so we can prepare it.
All right.
So we have 1.25 ounces of our banana liqueur. We have, once again, staying in theme, we're doing 3 ounces of coconut milk. We're doing 1.25 ounces of dark rum. Once again, my favorite. I love the flavors and taste of sugarcane. And 1.25 ounces of Mr. Black coffee liqueur.
We love that in our espresso martinis.
We love all of that good stuff in espresso martini. We're gonna go ahead and blend this. And here's this beautiful, luscious, dirty banana, AKA the Curious George.
Curious George, and I'm getting curious already.
We are getting curious, but it is delicious, okay? We're gonna take some of our mint sprigs, slap them up, get the essential oils out of it, just so you smell that nice minty aroma. We're gonna put that with a nice little pineapple prawn and a great tropical little tiki style blue and white straw.
Beautiful. All right, I have to get an early taste of this. Yeah, you can definitely taste the banana.
Go ahead.
I love that. Very fresh. And I love that I can just smell the mint as I'm sipping it as well.
Yeah. Listen, remember, everything's nose to mouth first.
Yeah.
Our senses first, even when we're eating, it's nose to mouth.
It is divine. I love that. All right, so I know there's another dessert. So
There
what is part 2?
So part 2 is a Mai Tai.
Okay.
Dessert is a cheesecake. I figured let's stay tropical, let's stay Caribbean, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it my way today.
All right, let's do it your way.
So we're gonna start with 3/4 ounces of fresh lime juice. We're doing a full ounce of fresh pineapple juice. We're going 3/4 ounces of Cointreau. This is gonna be 1 ounce of Disaronno. And we're gonna use a little white rum. We're gonna use 1 ounce there, and we're gonna use 1 ounce also of our dark rum. Dark rum is aged longer, has more characteristics and flavors to it. I love the blend. I think it's a beautiful, perfect marriage.
And we shake it up, right?
And we do a nice little shake for it. That shake gives us the nice froth. It opens up the acidity. And then we're gonna finish that cocktail off with a little bit of our Angostura bitters.
Wow.
Gives it a little color.
Kind of elevates it too.
Yeah, you'll see the little elevation, and you'll see once again, nose to mouth at the end of the finished product. We're gonna slap that mint once again. And we're gonna finish it off with some dehydrated lime. Just for show, just to show off a little bit.
It is a beautiful cocktail. So again, I have to get an early taste of this.
Go ahead, go ahead. You don't gotta say it, I know.
Oh, I feel like I'm on a beach right now. This is amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you again. We're loving this. I would happily pay $25, $30 for this cocktail. But guess what? You can make this at home yourself. So if you'd like to have this recipe or the recipe for this cocktail, check out the QR code on your screen.
We're gonna tackle now our banana cakes. So we have butter, unsalted butter. Try to be the best quality as possible, at least 82% fat. Then I have white sugar, brown sugar. Why we have 2 different sugars is different. White sugar gives you the crispiness. Brown sugar brings a lot of humidity, so your cake is gonna be a little more humid and more tastier. Almond flour, because we wanna cut a little bit of the gluten. Then we have baking soda, baking powder, creme fraiche, and AP flour, and our bananas that I previously baked. This will help us to release the natural pectin and the natural sweetness from the banana. And it gives us this baked good flavor, right? So we're gonna start. Butter goes in to the bowl. Goes the sugar, it goes our brown sugar, and it goes our kosher salt. Remember, we're doing the creaming method. Now what we're looking for is to cream the butter, to dissolve a little bit the sugar crystals. Okay, so this is our consistency that we're looking for. The sugar has been dissolved, so at this stage, we're ready to put our dry ingredient, which is baking soda, baking powder, almond flour, and our all-purpose flour. So we give it another mix. At this stage, we're ready to put our sour cream. Sour cream goes in, and our bananas can go in. You can even smell the sweetness of the banana at this stage because it has been baked. Then we have lined up our silicone mat on a sheet pan where we're gonna spread our banana cake and we're gonna get it ready to bake. So this is gonna bake because we're gonna spread it really thin, around 14 to 18 minutes at 300 Fahrenheit in the oven. Okay, so this is the texture again that we're looking for. So super creamy. We do first the corners, then we do our center. So this is ready now to go into the oven. We have our cake ready, and we're just gonna cut it into strips. And this is gonna be inside of our molds or our banana molds. And this is our banana cake that is gonna go inside the mold. So it's time now for us to do the banana cream. That is, I call it cream because it's not a mousse, it's not a custard, it doesn't have eggs. Okay, so now where it needs to go is in the blender, it needs to go our baked bananas. Put it all there. It goes our milk, our heavy cream, salt, ice and sugar. Basically every ingredient is gonna go in. And our natural bit. We give it a quick spin. This goes. And this is exactly what we're looking for. This is gonna start setting more in the fridge or in the freezer. So now we're gonna assemble the dessert. Oh, our banana, to be able to freeze it, it has to freeze overnight because remember, we don't have gelatin, we don't have eggs, so it needs to freeze overnight to be able to mold it. We have our banana mold that I custom make. We're gonna start filling it. So it goes in, our banana cream. When it's half full, we're gonna make sure our corners are filled up, so you gotta press with the spatula all the way. So this is our cake that we cut into strip that goes inside our mold. We're gonna seal it by putting a little more cream on top and then try to make it as flat as possible. And this is ready to go into the freezer. And this is more or less how it have to look. Okay, so our glaze is basically white chocolate, equal parts, or what we call in the pastry world, tam, which is equal parts of both ingredients. So white chocolate and cocoa butter. And it has some yellow coloring for chocolate. So this has to be around 40 to 42 degrees to be able to dip our bananas. With the help of 2 sticks, we're gonna try to make a little incision into the banana. So this is ready to dip. There you go. And we take the excess off. Okay, so we're ready to make it the more realistic touch. So what we have here is cocoa butter, white chocolate, and salt, black color. So we might wanna make it a thin as possible so it looks more realistic. We have our cocoa powder. Don't be afraid to use your hands. And we make it like little bruises. This is our banana that is ready to plate up. It's gonna be something different. We're gonna be plating up on a canvas, directly on a canvas. And what I have here is just edible. I printed just to replicate those little stickers that the fruits has. And we're replicating the painting. So we're gonna put it right in the top corner. What I have here is I wanted to replicate the duct tape that they have on the painting. So this is a veil. So of course it's edible. So it's sugar, a capa carrageen, a little bit of agar, and gelatin, and silver powder. We're gonna finish it with our little sticker. And to make the interactive part, I have done some white chocolate with a little bit of colors so you can enjoy this and make your own art.
With the sweet aroma of cheesecake and banana cake still lingering in the air, we're ready to bring the flavors to the table. I mean, should I just dive right in, or how? What's the best way?
You need the sauce, please. Don't forget the sauce.
Okay.
So let me pour it for you. You know, the sauce is where the flavor is always that. Ladies first. No, Mr.
Thank
Chef
you so much.
So what is this sauce exactly?
So the sauce is mango and passion fruit goodness.
Oh my goodness. It looks so pretty. It's almost too pretty to eat, but I'm going to eat it.
I don't think it's too pretty to eat. It's supposed to be eaten.
Dig in. Cheers, guy. Cheers.
Yes. Salud.
Thank you so much.
Caribbean.
Salud.
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 Sante.
So is there anything, when you bite into this, is there any memories of home that you feel?
Of course. Like I told you, passion fruit. I used to get it from the garden, cut it in half, brown sugar, and that's it. That was the whole dessert for me.
So I know sometimes when people think about the Caribbean, Venezuela is left out of the conversation, but when we think about what we're eating right now, I mean, this is an integral part of our culture.
We feel Caribbean. We dance like Caribbeans, we listen to music like Caribbean, we have salsa, we have bachata, so we have all the flavor that the Caribbean has. And the fruits are, Caribbean fruits. So we have a lot of guava, soursop, pineapple, passion fruit, mango, canips. I mean, what is more Caribbean than that?
Angel has been to the Bahamas so many times.
This is my second home.
He's an honorary Bahamian, but I agree. We're here in this cookout, in this series, to talk about how we need to be inclusive, because the Caribbean is a plural culture. It is built on the fact that we are different, but we're so similar. And so we need to embrace and talk about that in ways that will help to, unify us. We weren't getting the spotlight like we should. And so it takes people like Angel and Chef and myself and you to talk about the Caribbean in a way that will get people, to come and taste delicious food like this. Because a lot of people don't realize that Caribbean food can be refined. It can be showcased like this. And Angel has done an amazing job to put this all together in a way that our grandmother would understand, but then modern and younger people would appreciate.
Chef, ¿qué te parecieron la combinación de sabores y textura?
Oh, espectacular. La parchita o el passion fruit con el mango realmente se sienten ambos en el postre. Lo balancea muy bien la crema de queso.
I mean, why did you put the cookie inside as well?
It needed a crunchy element, and in cheesecake had always a crust, so I have to represent it in a way.
Yeah. All right, so we're wrapping up the passion fruit. We've all tasted the passion, but I know you have something else on your plate.
I hope you save room because there's one more. So we're getting ready to taste la banana, or the one that I recreated the comedian.
All right, well, Chef Angel is not done spoiling us yet. We have our wonderful drinks here. I know they're Curious George, banana inspired, and I'm very curious about this. I've never seen anything like this before.
So, like I promised, it was a lot of controversy about this painting.
Yeah.
People were saying, is it art? Is it not? So what I'm trying to say, if you really say this is not art, so make your own art. Let's see if you're good enough. You know what I mean? So that's why I give you your tools. This is chocolate with colorant, and
to be interactive, you're gonna get to paint whatever you want. You can put I love the
And
chef.
this is all edible.
Everything is edible.
Everything is edible.
Even the duct tape. You can write I love the chef. Go ahead.
I love it.
Chef Samuel, have you ever had anything like this? Or you done anything like this?
No. I'm not this intelligent.
And this is all white chocolate, so you get to eat it after.
Wow. Okay, what is this made out of? This fake duct tape. It's so stretchy. It's like tape.
It's like a gelatin. It's like a gelatin where I put silver powder just to represent, the duct tape. It looks like fire. I love it. You're cooking. You're such a chef.
I'm a genius. What do you
You're
think?
such a chef. You're putting fire in the
I'm
banana.
putting this on eBay. I'm going to be a millionaire.
I'm gonna do the first bet for you.
Because a lot of times people are making these things, and to be honest, they're not always delicious. But
to me,
this is
dessert always have
absolutely
to be 50% delicious, 40% creativity, 10% technique. That's my rule always.
Again, this is what Caribbean Cookout is all about. Interacting, having fun, eating delicious food, trying to get people to understand that the Caribbean is, again, so vast. So many places that we don't pay attention to, like Venezuela.
¿Qué te pareció,
Bueno,
chef?
no, esto está increíble, la verdad es que me dejó sin palabras. Está espectacular, y como ustedes dicen, el Caribe es sinónimo de felicidad. O sea, a nivel mundial,
Alegría,
cualquiera que piensa en el
felicidad.
Caribe, a pesar de cualquier tipo de situación, la gente lo asocia con felicidad, con alegría, y este plato es sencillamente espectacular.
Does it pair? Do you feel
cheers
like
again?
Cheers.
Come on for that.
Do you feel like it pairs well with your
This
dish?
is something different right here.
Feel a little bit of the coffee.
Yeah,
right?
that's a cookout drink right there.
A ver, chef, tienes 5 restaurantes y todos ultra famosos y exitosos. ¿Incluyes algo del Caribe en tus menús?
Por supuesto, en todos. Por ejemplo, en Taikin, que es un restaurante asiático, tenemos los platos de estrella, los más vendidos. Tenemos unos rolls hechos a base de plátano en sustitución del arroz. Tenemos plátano y cosas así. Por lo menos en Mordisco es un restaurante venezolano con influencia caribeña. Tenemos el plato estrella, el número 1 del restaurante es el ceviche carnavalero. El ceviche carnavalero es por su nombre.
Carnival ceviche, let me translate for you.
Simplemente por su nombre, es algo 100% inspirado en el Caribe. Nosotros usamos mero, y lo fantástico de este ceviche es que tiene crutones de plátano maduro.
Wow.
Y tiene la acidez, lo salado, un toque picante con ese sabor del plátano maduro. Es impresionante. Todo el mundo lo ama, bueno, y así la mayoría de mis platos. Y en el restaurante mexicano, es un restaurante fusión, y también está súper presente. De hecho, el segundo cóctel más vendido de los signature del restaurante se llama caribeño.
In the Caribbean, there's so many ingredients that unite us. We all know about it. You go anywhere and everybody does something with bananas in a dessert in a way that we use, some people eat green banana and it's savory. So again, there's so many things that speak and say Caribbean.
¿Alguien sabe cuántas lenguas y dialectos hay en el Caribe?
That's a good question.
How many?
Dialects
How many
and languages in the Caribbean?
But when you add the dialect,
How many?
Everybody. I don't know.
Si
but
mal no recuerdo, creo que eran 22, 23.
22 languages and dialects in the whole
Wow,
Caribbean.
wow.
Let's speak about diversity. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got to play a little, we got to eat a lot, we got to learn even more. So thank you so much for teaching us and just guiding us through all of these dishes.
This is my passion, so I'm glad you guys invited me to get to show some of my artistry. And I mean, we're all Caribbean, we all help each other, we're all united, we're one voice, so come with me anytime.
Absolutely, and thank you both for kicking off season 3 of Caribbean Cookout.
Thank you so
Season
much.
3.
Thanks for having us.
What an incredible journey it's been sharing these vibrant Caribbean flavors with you. But remember, the adventure doesn't end here. Every kitchen, every table is a chance to taste the spirit of the islands. Keep exploring, keep savoring, and let the rhythm of the Caribbean live on in every dish you create. Until we meet again, stay inspired, stay curious, and keep the sweet spirit alive.